Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Many families across the southern tier are headed out to their local tree farm to pick out the perfect Christmas tree for their home. Our Sonia Ellison visited a farm in Painted Post to see how the tree crop is looking this year.
For many in the Corning area, it's a Christmas tradition to get their tree from Empire Evergreens here in Painted Post. There's several types of pines you can pick up, or if you want the full traditional experience, you can cut your own.
Yeah, we grow 5 different species of fir trees. Fraser fir is by far the most common.
Dave Weil has run Empire Evergreens for 20 years. 5 to 8 foot trees run $70 here.
Yeah, we did increase prices last year, and then I held everything fixed this season.
The average price of a Christmas tree in the U.S. last year was $80, a 10% increase from the previous holiday season, thanks to inflation.
Oh, in the Williamsport area, when we first moved there, which was about 30 years ago, there were lots of beautiful tree farms around, and as the owners of those tree farms got older and closed their farms, no one took them over.
Many come from Pennsylvania, like Pamela, who are hard-pressed to find live pines in recent years. Weil says this decline of farms paired with recent extreme weather events have decreased the supply of Christmas trees.
We planted 35,000 this year because we lost quite a few seedlings last year in the drought. And again, in the drought this spring, as well as the flooding rain here in August. It's been tough the last 4 years to get trees established. The weather has not been favorable.
If you're looking for a live local tree this year, Empire Evergreens will be open all season long.
We'll close probably a day or two before Christmas. Many farms run out of trees well beforehand.
I love the fact that there are so many trees that it's hard to make a decision, and that the people are so very nice here.
And if you're still not sold?
Oh, the smell. Nothing artificial smells the same as a natural tree in the house.
Sonia Ellison, Big Fox News, Painted Post.
An electronic recycling event is scheduled for tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Oakwood Methodist Church parking lot in Elmira. You can drop off any unwanted electronic items, including anything with a cord. There's no charge and no limit on the amount of things you can bring. The large truck taking the items for recycling will leave when it's full. The truck was full around 11:45 a.m. at their fall recycling event. The Gaffer District continued the holiday season with its 14th annual Sparkle on Saturday. Market Street was shut down and lit up for a night full of lights, vendors, food, musical performances, and other performances, and much more. Crowds poured in to celebrate the Crystal City Christmas season. With just a few legislative days left this year, it is crunch time for Congress, hoping to approve U.S. aid for Israel and Ukraine. But some GOP lawmakers see this aid package as an opportunity to change U.S. border policy. Rebecca Castor has more from Washington.
While U.S. allies Ukraine and Israel are immersed in war, Congress remains divided on how to send aid. It hinges on funding and policy changes for the U.S. border.
People don't want to be involved in paying for securing a foreign country's border. They want our border secured first, and that's not happening.
Democrats and Republicans in the Senate are working to update U.S. border policy, with conservatives wanting stricter asylum standards before greenlighting any foreign aid.
There's a reason that this hasn't been done in decades, because it's hard. People want a legal, orderly process, not the chaos that we currently have on our southern border.
A recent national poll finds 74% of registered voters support more funding for security along the U.S.-Mexico border. But the changes posed by Republicans may be too far right for Democrats.
There cannot be a deal without significant policy changes in it. Look, I understand that's hard for a lot of Democrats.
President Biden requested $14 billion for the U.S. border be included in the national security package for migrant resettlement, expansion of lawful pathways, temporary facilities and beds, and more asylum officers and CBP agents. Border funding is not the only debate holding up Israel and Ukraine aid. Some progressive Democrats want Israel to change its war strategy to limit civilian deaths before they'd approve funding. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum drops out of the 2024 presidential race. Burgum, a multimillionaire former software company CEO, was an unlikely candidate. He was in the race for 6 months. Burgum released a statement that reads in part, quote, While this primary process has shaken my trust in many media organizations and political party institutions, it has only strengthened my trust in America, unquote. A security guard is killed and a second guard is injured at a Macy's store in Philadelphia. It happened this morning in Philadelphia's Center City neighborhood. According to police, the guards were able to stop a male who tried to steal hats. The male left but returned about 15 minutes later and stabbed both guards before getting away. Police caught up with the suspect at a transit station and took him into custody. Both guards were unarmed. The guard who died was 30 years old. The U.S. carried out a drone strike on several Iran proxy fighters on Sunday. Later, 3 commercial ships faced an attack in the Red Sea that lasted more than 7 hours. Alexandria Hoff has more.
Iranian-backed forces from Yemen firing missiles at 3 commercial ships in the Red Sea on Sunday during an hours-long assault. The USS Carney, a guided missile destroyer, was patrolling the area at the time and responded to the attack. Military officials say the warship shot down 3 drones headed in its direction in self-defense. The strikes prompting fears of a significant escalation against U.S. forces in the Middle East.
With Iran and what has taken place in the region, look at, they're increasing their level of aggression with their proxies. Iran, Syria proxies. Hezbollah certainly gradually increasing.
U.S. Central Command blamed Houthi rebels in Yemen for the latest attack, but added in a statement it has reason to believe, quote, these attacks, while launched by the Houthis in Yemen, are fully enabled by Iran. Iranian officials pushing back on those allegations.
This is also one of those allegations aimed at projection, which are made in line with efforts to deviate public opinion of nations and to cover up crimes.
Since October 17th, there have been at least 75 attacks on U.S. forces in the Middle East. At the Reagan National Defense Forum before Sunday's strikes, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin promised the U.S. will strike back.
We will not tolerate attacks on American personnel. And so these attacks must stop. And until they do, we will do what we need to do to protect our troops and to impose costs on those who attack them.
Also on Sunday, the U.S. military killed 5 Iranian-backed fighters in a drone strike. The Pentagon says it was self-defense. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
It is looking like we can expect colder temps as the week moves on. We'll have more in your complete workweek forecast coming up. Plus this.
While the holidays are supposed to be merry and bright, they can also be filled with stress. I'm Anita Vogel with a look at what psychology experts say you can do to get in the holiday spirit. That's coming right up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening and happy Monday. We rolled into our first weekend of December feeling more like the middle of fall, especially as temperatures were climbing into those 50s both Saturday and Sunday. Now, from Friday, our first day of December, we were talking about that shower activity that was measurable every day up to yesterday, even bringing in an inch of accumulation. And then today we stayed with some light rain showers and near seasonal temperatures. But we are watching the pullback of those temperatures. What will help temperatures not bottom out tonight is that we are holding on to overcast skies with that west-northwesterly wind that is staying fairly light. But what we'll be with is those more December-like temperatures here as we hold highs anywhere from those 30s through those 40s here through the middle of the week. So looking to trend slightly cooler than normal, or at least near seasonal in a few days. Now we'll talk on some small chances for some wintry mix to snow showers with those cooler temperatures. One of those chances being Tuesday night and another one come Thursday. Now the chance on Thursday is going to be associated with a warm front lifting north across the area that is going to usher in another warm weekend as well as another round of rain showers. Now, we'll have a break from the very active weather as we'll battle sometimes with some cloud cover, some sunshine into our Tuesday with temperatures hovering within those 30s as we are underneath a northwesterly wind. Not a strong wind, but enough to keep that cooler environment feeling more like December as we'll just flirt with hitting 40 degrees for that high. Again, northwesterly wind staying light and that normal high is about 42 degrees. So trending slightly cooler cooler than normal, not frigid, but again, back to what's a bit more of a normal temperature trend for this time of the year. So we see across the area, mostly those 30s, just going to touch those 40s for a high temperature to mark off our Tuesday. Now into our Wednesday forecast, pretty similar setup in place. Again, overnight, there will be a chance for maybe some areas of some wintry mix possible. That's going to usher in some cloud cover and keep our high temperatures Wednesday anywhere from those low to mid 30s. So keeping us 5 to 10 degrees below normal. Now, as we head into that Thursday forecast, as mentioned, a warm front is going to lift in, and that's going to bring us a chance for some light snow showers, but it's also going to start to bring in some blustery conditions. We see that southerly wind through Saturday even increase to bring wind gusts upwards of 25 to 40 miles per hour. So we are going to head into active conditions for the weekend. So not great timing, as we are not getting able to enjoy all this warm weather when it comes down to the rain, but there will be some breaks. Now the good news here is again that light snow chance there in place with a high of 39 is around, and then temperatures leap nearly 10 degrees up to about 50 on Friday. Now, not as blustery on Friday, but winds increasing. The winds will be the strongest on Saturday with a high 55 degrees, but dry. So again, wind have to battle, but you have dry conditions in place. Then Sunday, we have a high of 55, but we'll have the wind and the rain to battle. And then following that system, we are watching that will bring those temperatures back down to more December-like conditions.